Well, that was fun, wasn't it? If you guys are just now catching up, or maybe you were lucky enough to not have to watch that shit show that was our FA Cup match. United are out of the FA Cup, first time of asking this season. We lost at home 2-1 to Brighton in really what was one of the worst performances that I've seen from us this season. Like, just no heart, no urgency, no fight, no mentality, no intention to really go and win that match. And I feel like I've said that way too many times this season. If you caught last night's show, we obviously went through the initial reaction and talked a lot about those player ratings. You guys, thank you for getting involved in that show. Really good to get your thoughts on that. Tonight, though, I've got my three main takeaways from the match. You guys know that's how we do things here. Got my three main thoughts, my three things that stuck out to me, three main themes that I want to make sure I share with you. So we're going to go through that tonight. I won't take up too much of your time. Make sure you're liking, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you guys are new, this is United versus everybody. I am Sean. Let's get stuck in with my three thoughts on the match, starting with number one, a little bit of a continuation from what we talked about last night, but it bears repeating. Dallo needs to go. Like, he just absolutely needs to go. I can't say it enough. This isn't a knee-jerk reaction. I've been saying this on the channel since we started. You guys know that. You guys can hold me to that. Everything that Dallo was bad at last night, we saw it all front and center. Just 1v1s, the decision making, the final ball, the defending, the positioning, the physics, this thing, putting pressure on the ball, everything and anything. Just there was a point in time where we conceded that first goal where we're trying to defend, and Dallo is literally just standing at the edge of our box, looking not even at the ball. He has no idea what's going on. But last night, it was more of the same, and I'm really getting sick and tired of having to say it, man. So for the first goal, I mean, he got in this situation last night. Again, this is what I mean with the 1v1s of decision making. Dallo misses this chance. He's caught between two minds. He has no idea what's going on. There are about three or four different things he could do here, but he decides to try to do a little bit of trickery, and the chance is just squandered. It gets smothered by Steele, the keeper. And then the second one, he has an opportunity here to lay in Benjamin Sesko, who's coming in off a run, who's in, quite honestly, the perfect position that you want Benjamin Sesko to be in. And instead, Dallo decides to lash at it, take another shot because he fucked up the first one. I guarantee you that's what's going on in his head. And he skies it anyway. And again, this is Diogo Dallo in a nutshell. And how many times have we seen this kind of stuff from him in a United shirt? He gets into these opportunities, he gets in these chances, and he just messes it up. If a couple minutes later, he needlessly puts the ball out for a Brighton throw-in. There was a late run that he made later on, and I think it was late in the first half, where he made a good run to get off the back of a defender, got on the end of it, and then tries a little back heel, and then completely fluffs the back heel and just ruins another chance. He's so bad in these situations. And again, this is just a little microcosm but it's like representative of what we've seen from Dallo since he signed for us. He hasn't improved. Literally, if you can name me one thing about his game that he's improved on over time, let me know. Now, I will say a lot of that might have to do with how many different managers we have, but the manager you have doesn't depend on, like, they don't have an influence on what you're doing right there in that situation. They don't have an influence on putting pressure on the ball, on fluffing a back heel, on never learning how to properly cross a ball. That has nothing to do with the manager. It has everything to do with the player. I don't think he's good enough for Manchester United. He don't think he's good enough for any top four team in any of the top five leagues. I think he would struggle at any of those because he's just not a good footballer. His footballing IQ is in the mud. His mentality is in the mud. His technical skill on the ball is in the mud. The one thing he's decent at is a step over. That's it. Step over. That's all you got. Like I said last night, if Jason Wilcox finds it so hard to not interfere with the coaching, go start with Dallo. Go spend some time with Dallo and see what you got in there. But we do need to sell Dallo. Again, he's nowhere near good enough for United. I have no idea what Jose Mourinho saw in him when he signed him from the Portuguese league. Let him go back to the Portuguese. If Mourinho likes him so much, go join him at Benfica. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. And I have a problem with mentality. The reason I point out mentality again is because Dallo decided to name drop Shea Lacey getting a red card as one of the pretty much the reason why we lost yesterday. That is cowardly. That does not befitting a leader. He's supposed to be part of this leadership group. Yeah, leadership group, my ass. You fucked up those two clear chances, and not to mention many more. failed to do anything to make up for it for the whole 90 minutes, but somehow it's Shea Lacey's fault for getting a red with like 5 minutes left to go. Yep, good job, Dallo. Like I said last night too, I really wish Morocco had messed up AFCON and Mizraoui was back, because now that we're playing with fullbacks, we're no longer playing with wingbacks. We don't have to worry about Mizraoui being shoehorned as a center back or whatever. He could just play fullback, which arguably when he first signed under Ten Hag, playing a 4-2-3-1, he was the best right back in the Premier League at the time. Let's get some of that back. He's having an excellent showing at AFCON. We need him back ASAP. But let me know what you guys think about Dallo, because I'm done with it. I'm done with him. He needs to go. But I might be the minority, but I doubt it. But let me know. Moving on, number 2. Bro, where's the fight? It was another lazy, lackluster, sloppy, ball-watching, switched off, slow, cautious performance for United. Overall, like, I honestly thought that Dorgu, Bruno, Shesko, and then you can argue Lacey were the only ones who really seemed to like want to get involved, want to do anything. I told you guys, the formation wasn't the entire. It had nothing to do with formation. A lot of these players are not great. They didn't look interested at all last night. We're in extra time. No one's putting the ball in the box. They're all just cautious, waiting for that perfect opportunity. Just put it in the box. Too many touches. It's too cautious. We're letting Brighton get back into the shape. We're letting them get back in numbers. Just put it in the box. It's not that hard. And we're just wasting time, wasting minutes. They're ticking by. And nobody seems to have the bollocks to go ahead and just say, yep, here comes the ball. There's no urgency, no onus to go and win the match. And it's not the first time we've seen that from these players in recent weeks. Fletcher said after the match that we needed to move the ball with more tempo. So then basically when you say that, you're calling out the players for playing too slowly. If that's not tactical, if that's down to the player's mentality, then he needs the one to fix it. He needs the one to literally just give him one of these, like, let's go faster, or just yell faster, like, let's pick it up a little bit. Like, that's your job. Yes, you're interim, but then do it on an interim basis. And I'm so sick of hearing this from Dallo, from Fletcher. Oh, we should have won. We created the more chances. It's nonsense. If we should have won, if we created the more chances, why aren't we putting away those chances? Why aren't we winning more games? Why are we dropping so many points from winning positions? It's mentality. There's no fight. These players have just already given up on the season. They gave up on this match before it even started, if you really want to deep it. And again, this is the same mentality that we've seen trickle down from the top 4 years. If it's not top 4, then everybody gives up. These players have checked out earlier than this in recent seasons. And again, this is basically where we're at right now. Fletcher said after the match that the players are fragile right now. They need confidence and they need to step up. He said they have to dig in, show they want to be part of Manchester United's future, learn from this, and ultimately, if you're not, then I don't think you should be here or will be here. Sounds strong, but that's the reality, and that's the way it should be. Yeah, he's absolutely right, but again, you got to find a way to fix it on the pitch. Normally, I would just call this weak mentality from the squad, but again, today, it crossed the line for me from just weak mentality to a complete unwillingness to fight for the win, a complete unwillingness to just pick yourself up and go and try to get something from the match. It seemed like they had flat out just given up. It's not good enough at all. The players should honestly be ashamed of themselves, if we're being quite honest with each other. All right, number 3. That's the season over with, by the way. That's 2 domestic cups this season that we're out of in the very first match of the tournaments, meaning that now it's just 40 games this season for Manchester United for the first time in well over a century, if you guys believe. I think it was since 1914, 1915, if I remember correctly. Somebody can let me know if that's correct or not. But again, out to Grimsby Town in the first match of the Carabao Cup. Now we're out of Brighton in our first match of the FA Cup. This was really something that we should be going and winning something, not just because we're United, but because we've already beaten Brighton this season. We have the players who are capable of doing it. They're just not like matching that quality on paper with the performances on the pitch. And again, Manchester United struggle as a result. But sorry, my computer just crashed out on me again. I really need to get a new computer. I'm trying to load this on my phone real quick right now. Keep scrolling down, guys. Make sure you like and make sure you're subscribing real quick while I scroll down and get to this on my phone, because my computer just decided to die. But again, so season's over. What is there left to play for? other than maybe getting top four. And honestly, is that even possible based on what you've seen from these players, what you've seen from our owners? Do you think really there's any ambition at this club right now to even go and try to get top four? Do you think that, what have you seen to show me otherwise? You guys have to let me know. Even if we do get top four, do any of us really even care at this point? I think when I say season's over, I don't mean like, oh, on the table, on the comp. I mean, for a lot of the fans, they've checked out. A lot of the United fans checked out when we sacked Ruben Amorim. Now they're just like completely done. There are guys jumping on this channel who are like, should I go to a party this weekend or should I go and watch this derby? Like they can't even get bothered to go get up for a Manchester derby. And that's not a criticism of the fans. That's a criticism of the club, of the players, of the owners, of everything. And why should we care? Why should we care if we get top four? The owners don't care. The players sure as hell don't care. Nobody even wants it. So why should we care more than they do? I'm telling you right now, this is going to be the second season in a row, too, that Dylan and I don't even do an award show. Remember, we didn't do one last season because nobody deserved it. It was absolute garbage. I'm not doing one this season either. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. But honestly, the crowd at Old Trafford was very quiet last night. There were a couple of boos after the final whistle. Again, I don't know what any of you guys were expecting from Darren Fletcher when he took over. I told you guys it wasn't going to be like fast, free flowing. It was going to be very patient build up from the back. It was going to be a lot of what we've basically been seeing, unfortunately. And what we're seeing is not good enough. It's not entirely Fletcher's fault, right? He's an interim. He's not here to come and change everything under the sun. That's not his job. But at the same time, if he's going to complain about players not being confident, if he's going to complain about players moving the ball slowly, he's got to be the one to go on and do it and make changes in the match or just tell him what to do. We really need some signings. I don't care if we're in a bit of a manager yo-yo right now, if we have no idea what's going on. That shouldn't dictate whether or not we make signings or who we sign, especially because it's only going to be an interim. The plan, the strategy, the whole process that we've laid out for this transfers for the next couple windows, that should keep rolling on despite who is in charge. Again, if Ineos, Wilcox, if they're going to call people head coaches and not managers, what that means is they're not in charge of signings. The signings that we've been making should be versatile enough. They should have the mentality. They should be able to play for anybody, any system, irregardless of who's in charge. That to not make any signings this month would be absolutely criminal, inexcusable. And again, why I point out it doesn't seem like anyone's in a hurry to get top four or try. Look at what Aston Villa are doing. They're reportedly going to go get Conor Gallagher. We'll see if that goes. If they get Conor Gallagher over the line while Unai Emery is in a top four race with a depleted squad, financial punishment from last season, like that's ambition. Villa are much more structured club than United are right now. And it's not because we're in early stages of rebuild. It's because they have competent people in charge. We don't have competent people in charge. As you can see, I'm fully in Ineos out mode, not because they're criminals. Glazers are criminals, but because Ineos don't have any idea what they're doing. They can have the best intentions. I really do think they care. They put a lot of money in for Carrington. They're working on getting this stadium. They're trying to get us out of it. They care, but they're just not good at it. They're so bad at the important stuff. I would rather get a squad that's winning, get a structure going, get a manager in who's competent and best in class than a new stadium. Honest to God, I really would. Because what's the point of going to get a new stadium? This is what we're going to have to watch every week. This is embarrassing. So no excuse not to sign players. I don't care who the interim is. I don't care what the plan is. Sign some players. We needed midfielders for a while. We've tried to get midfielders in the summer. There's no reason to just put a halt on that because we need an interim manager because we sacked Ruben Amorim. There's no reason. There's no excuse. But I want to know your thoughts. Those are mine, you guys. Make sure you are liking the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are new. Please go ahead and check those memberships out when you get a second. It is the best way to get involved. Go take a look, too. There's a link in the description of the video at the manager replacement video that Dylan and I did not that long ago. There's 8 managers in there. We did a deep dive on that. You guys go take a look. Go vote in the poll as well for your favorite. Right so far, Oliver Glasner is winning. If you guys want to have a say in that, go get involved in that as well. Check out the United vs. Everybody store. Tons of new designs in there all the time. I know right now it's difficult to want to go spend money on United gear to support the club, but you're not supporting the club, you're supporting the channel. So until next time, you guys, though, Make sure you keep a lookout too for the director of football replacement video that I've got coming up as well. I'll keep a lookout for that. I'll make sure to let you guys know when that's dropping. But until then, you guys just keep in mind we've got best in class running shit at United these days. So it's this is where we go. But take it easy, you guys. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and I will talk to you guys on the next one. Later.